Today we're talking about Archangel of Twin Wings Alestiel, the pseudo-luck-based additional crit machine that has the only power decreasing in the game. I just love having to have two different colors of dice for skills, but that's neither here nor there. Before we get into a deck list, let's talk about an unfortunate decision this deck has to make. White Wings or Black Wings? The deck feels very poorly designed. The cards that are released seem to want you to be able to pivot your strategy to either Black Wings or White Wings, but due to consistency issues with binding, and cards requiring you to commit to having certain numbers of each type on field, you have to choose one or the other. Black Wings can give you temporary power reduction, a powerful board wipe, good soul charging, field and soul recursion, single target restanding prevention, and they're live on turn 2. However, they have no damage or power and few boosters. White Wings get additional crits and power, stronger boosters, more guard value, graveyard recursion, synergy with Ekel and Bibuel, stronger ride deck effects. However, they're not live till turn 3, and triggers can mess with the deck's consistency. Combining these two forces, you get inconsistent flexibility. I'm going to summarize this as the difference between Sabaton and My Chemical Romance. Are you going on a crusade to delete your opponents, or are you trying to make everyone miserable? Out of these two options, White Wings are way more valuable. As a 3-attack deck, making the attacks you do have count is the best option. You really can't finish your opponent off at all in Black Wings. This video is going to be primarily covering a White Wing build, but I'll also include a Black Wing build and its information. Here's my White Wing list. We're running 4 Incessant Vocal Ekel. That's a passive-aggressive title if I've ever heard one. Imagine being named after how you can't shut up. We run her because she makes both White Wings and Black Wings live on your Vanguard until next turn. She's also a grade 3 that can cycle herself for a card. Really, her purpose is to help contribute making your Persona Ride turn the finisher it should be. Serving the purpose of fixing your bind zone, we have Brainy Player Bibuel and Advent Stroke Shadale. These let you fix your bind zone when it inevitably fucks up. This list is designed to optimize the chances of binding an odd card. However, the odds still aren't great because we have to run triggers. So we run Bibuel and Shadale to compensate for this. These are the odds of binding or drawing a fixer. Not only do the fixers fix the bind zone, they also draw one when doing it, making it a net even. We're running 4 Bibuel because she's a grade 3, and all the units that are even grade in the deck outside of Shadale are triggers. She also gains shield 2, which is strong to have in this format. We're running 3 Shadale, as she's a backup to fixing our problems, but as a grade 2, she's not needed as much as Bibuel. We run 4 Wings with the Rainbow Glow Emiriel. She's the main card the deck wants to play around. Set up 5 odd grade units on board, then play Emiriel to give both of your front row units an extra crit and 5k. Combining this with your Vanguard skill, you can have a whole board that threatens to kill at 4 damage. Cloudless Heart Miel is our deck's recursion machine. Emiriel and Bibuel and Prail are all valid targets for this card. She lets you get away with discarding other cards for skills or guard and reusing their on-place effects, such as Emiriel or Bibuel late game. This card finds a fantastic niche in this deck. We're running Little Piece Prail instead of Happiness Distribution Denel as our grade 1 booster. Denel has a semi-steep cost and doesn't break any trigger thresholds. We also aren't running Maliburel because of its lack of defensive numbers. 5k more shield matters, and it's definitely a hard call to decide between Prail and Maliburel. Okay, hold on. I need to talk about this crit trigger I found. I get the joke that she's talking with her mouth full, but it just reads like she's having a stroke. Alright. Outside of that, I'm running 8 crit, 3 front for the standard extra pressure the ratio provides. Mulligan for Persona Ride and Air Malurels primarily. Secondarily, Mulligan for Ekel, Mail, and Prail. Keeping a fixer isn't bad either. Keep Bibuel over Shadale though. Keep triggers for more defensive matchups. Always put back heals in your over trigger though. Now, discarding for this deck is cool. If you have Mail, you can discard your 8k value cards and get them back. This isn't always a good play as it's a bit heavy on resources, but if you need to keep guard in hand, it can sometimes be worth it. This deck is hurt by any matchup with removal. The deck wants to keep Ekel on board and not lose many resources on board. As such, this deck struggles against Bruce, Baramagnus, Eugene, and Orphist. The deck's strength is breaking through decks that have low guard value. Matchups such as Bastion and Zorga are really strong. On to rating. This deck makes the most out of its 3 attacks. Between crits, the deck's power gain, and your opponent's power decreasing, the deck hits hard. However, being only a 3-attack deck hurts a lot and definitely caps out this deck's strength. I give it a strong 3 out of 5 for power. White Wings aren't great on the control front, as all of your control tools are on the Black Wing side, 0 out of 5 on the control side. The deck has very meh consistency. You need to see specific pieces to play at full power, and if you don't see enough of them, you lose. This is topped off by the binding from Top Mechanic being able to hit 16 triggers that really mess up the requirements. These factors combine to make consistency that's not awful, but isn't really good either. 2 out of 5. The deck has solid versatility. All the cards have multiple uses and let you make some non-linear plays. Theoretically, if you are okay with ruining consistency more, you could run some Blackwing cards as a tech. 2 out of 5 on versatility. The deck has very solid value. It's not as insane as something like Roll, but your fixers can draw you a card, and you can add cards from grave back to hand, as well as getting cards back from your bind zone. There's solid extra guard value as well. 3 out of 5 on value. Alright, here's my Blackwing deck list. Oh, sorry, wrong game. Wait, this isn't right either. Okay, this one isn't even Vanguard. Alright, here we go. We run Shadal for the same reason as the White Wing deck. Here are the chances of binding an even grade. It's a lot better than White Wings, but we still should run Shadale as a good backup. Fleeting Longing Beryl is our deck's main play. She's got a better board wipe than 15 Solbera Magnus. She makes it obnoxious for your opponent to guard as well by decreasing the power of everything to 0. In this build, Beryl is a 4-of as the main playmaker. Heavenly Recital Mayrel is the Blackwing version of Mail. However, this version has a wider range of targets to add back to hand. Thanks to cards like Shirelle, Fennel, and True-Hearted Ruby, there are some strong options to bounce back to hand from Soul. For a value engine for this deck. Flight to Yonder Shirelle is a funny pick in this deck. Unfortunately, there's not a lot better than her. Her role is outclassed by Beryl for control, but she's live on turn 2 and can Soul Charge 1. She gets cut out as soon as new support gets announced, but for now, run 4. Rerun 4 Howling Ballad Fennel, as she's the deck's only real option for a booster. However, she's an insanely strong option for a booster as well. She Soul Charges on place and has a base of 10k power. The perfect tech for this deck is True-Hearted Ruby. This gives the deck some much needed draw power, and puts itself into Soul after use. This combos with Emil and can help pay costs for Beryl. The card is also grade 0, so it's even when bound and drop. I run 3, although maybe it's worth it to consider bumping up to 4 and cutting 1 Shell. In this deck, you're looking to keep Fennel, Emil, Beryl, and Persona Rides. Keep triggers for defensive matchups. You can keep Shell if you think you need the Soul Charge or don't see a Beryl. You can put deck Shadale and your True-Hearted Rubies, as they are not direct playmakers for the deck. You can do a bit better into some matchups thanks to your board wiping ability. Magnolia, Nirvana, and the Lyrical decks are all more hurt going into you. However, your boost matchup gets worse, and your ability to deal damage or guard is decreased, so you have worse matchups overall. Power is a weaker 1 out of 5. Thanks to strong board wipe and anti-rear standing, your control is a solid 4 out of 5. The consistency is technically really good for this deck. 3 out of 5 for consistent garbage. Versatility is the same as the other variant of this deck, 2 out of 5. The value is less than White Wings, but still very solid, 2 out of 5. Overall, Angels is a great experiment into dysfunctional card design. Based on the cards that got printed, this deck seems to want to be this either-or playstyle that's just not supported by the design. I think Blackwings could benefit from a grade 4, and I think both playstyles could benefit from cards that have both a White Wing and Blackwing effect. I don't really feel like recommending this deck right now. It's below average to play, but it's very fun to build. You've seen Angel Idols, but can you imagine? What if they were biblically accurate? Thanks for watching. It's probably going to be an Alestiel Kyrie profile up next. I think the deck is actually borderline meta, but we'll see when that video comes out if the data supports that. See you next time.